Hello everyone, welcome to Episode 2 of the Two Generations, One Mic podcast. We want to thank you all so much for returning for our second episode. We hope you really enjoy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on all of our social medias. You can look us up on TikTok, the same name as YouTube. Thank you all again so much for being here. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Let's get right into it. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Two Generations, One Mic podcast. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in for our second episode. We all hope you really enjoyed the first episode. I'm here with my dad, of course. Make sure you guys check out the bio at the end of the episode so you guys can check us out on all our social medias and everything like that. Again, we want to thank you all so much for tuning in for the second episode. We have so many great things to talk about in today's episode. Dad, do you want to go ahead and tell them a couple of things we got to talk about for the day?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ethan. This has been a lot of fun, and we've had a lot of fun just talking about what we're going to talk about. And we got a few things we want to touch on, including some topics from last week, and then some things that have been suggested in comments as well. So we'll talk about our New Year's resolutions and maybe touch on the awakening of AI and what that means for us.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about on AI today.
Yeah, you know what I wanted to talk about too is the drones. We're going to maybe touch back base on the drones because I'm really still very interested in those. And then we'll talk about new subjects as well. And we've had a couple comments since the last time to talk about maybe food safety, the issue with
the food production in our government and like different things like that, all those additives and stuff like that. But we'll talk about all those future plans later on in the episode.
So what have you been up to, Ethan?
Nothing much really. I've not been staying busy at all. I've really just been refreshing my phone to check the YouTube every day to see how the podcast is doing, because I'm so glad it's been such a success among all of our friends and all of our listeners out there. But no, I haven't been doing much. Me and my girlfriend went out with her dad to go bowling, and I actually start my new job in 2 days here on campus at the college that I attend. I'm going to start working in the cafeteria, or not necessarily in the cafeteria, but we have a lot of restaurants on campus, and I think that what my job will be is, like, we have a Chick-fil-A, we have a Subway, we've had an Einstein's. For anybody out there that doesn't personally know me, I have a long history of working at Subway. I've worked at the Subway in Dangerfield twice in my life, so I've worked there for about a year and a half, so that's really why they wanted me, is for the experience there as well. So they'll probably have me like 2 days at Subway, and then another day at the Chick-fil-A, and then maybe 2 days at Subway. So I don't really know what it's going to look like yet, but in the next episode, I will. Yeah, it's going to be great. I have ADHD, so it's personally going to be great for me because I tend to get really, really bored at work, and not like that makes me not want to work, because I like making that money. Of course, everybody does, but. No, I think it'll be.
So we all get bored at work.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's just how it goes. I mean, it's work. Work is work. But no, I think it'll be great for me to have like all these different options, because I won't get bored. I have something new to do every day at work. I think it'll be fun, and it's a great opportunity for me because it's on campus and I don't have a car, so I could always just walk to work like 1 block that way.
You'll do fine, and they're getting a great person. So
yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun.
It's not like you haven't had jobs before. It's just you just started college.
Yeah, I just finished my first semester, starting my second semester in 3 days actually.
All right. And how'd you do in your last semester?
I did great. I mean, for anybody that doesn't personally know me, I did not do very well in high school. I wouldn't say I did bad. I did fine in high school. I'm passed, of course. I mean, I graduated last year, but graduated early actually. But this year in college, I really took off because I feel like the college work is a lot more mentally challenging, and it's more straightforward and focused on certain topics. And I think that's really helpful for me because, I mean, if it's one big assignment, but they give me a week and a half to work on that one assignment, I think that it's a lot easier for me to sit down and work on it over a period of time. And, I'm getting off track here. Anyway, I did very good in my past semester.
That's fun for me.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know this, but that's fun for me to listen to. And I hope it's fun for because they will understand that that's really, for someone who has a child that's just recently graduated high school and you're going into college, for a parent to hear that they're enjoying that first year of college, that first semester,
right?
It means a lot. I mean,
right.
It's fun for me to listen to. So anyway,
me and my girlfriend Alyssa, we both love it up here. I mean, it's fun. Like, not like I didn't love living at the house with my mom and but I mean, I loved staying around family and stuff and being so close to home. But it's nice now being 18 years old. My girlfriend's 19 years old. It's nice to be out here in Tyler, an hour and a half away from home, living on our own, trying to, get groceries, put gas in the car, take the dog to the vet. Like, it's fun to have all these little things that we need to do, try and be successful and start building our lives. But, no, Dad, but let me ask you, what have you been up to this past week? Have you been checking in on the podcast at all?
No, absolutely. I've been looking at our subscribers. I had a couple old friends that contacted me and said, hey, man, this sounds great.
Well, if that's you out there listening, we appreciate you so much for listening to the last episode and this one.
I'm talking about friends from back in the day,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and of course, new friends as well.
I'm glad it's a great way to connect people.
It's a fun thing for us to do every week, just catching up. And I really enjoy listening to what you have to say because each day that passes by that I don't get to see you, we get to talk on the phone. It's almost like you're there.
Yeah, I'm right. It may as well be like we are. I mean, we're right here talking to each other,
So we've been changing over. There's a new owner at the Wolford House Dinner Theater where I work.
Uh-huh.
There's a new owner that's taken over, and we are revamping and remodeling the restaurant part of it. There's
awesome.
There's a restaurant and a bar that attaches in a beer garden outside, which is very popular during the summertime. We've been revamping that part, and we're calling it the Red Stag Restaurant and Matterhorn Bar.
Wow.
And so they're keeping the German theme.
That's great.
I've been working here for 6 years. We ended our Christmas show, end of December. That was the end of an era. 25 years they were here.
Right.
And we are opening with a brand new owner at the end of this month in January. So it's been
a lot of change. A lot of change going on.
There's a lot of things going on. We're revamping the restaurant and the bar, opening it up a little bit, and then we're also revamping the theater, and we open with a new show at the end of this month, January. So that's what I do.
Well, that's great that you guys are still staying in operation and you guys are still running shows and stuff, even though you guys are transitioning over into the new year and doing all this remodeling and stuff. And that's great because
that's the thing, because we were we didn't know for a while. He announced in August that he was going to put the theater up for auction.
Right, I remember you telling me about that.
We didn't know if some wealthy developer was going to buy it and
turn it into a hotel or something.
Well, yeah, and build a La Quinta Inn, with a little pit grill or something.
Right.
We had no idea, but there was a local lady, Miss Lord, Amanda Lord is her name, and from Withville. And she's an optometrist. She owns several successful businesses in the area.
Wow.
She bought the entire lot. She bought the entire thing and wants to keep it as a dinner theater.
Wow.
It's been 25 years they've been here.
That's great.
And so it's a Withville landmark. Really.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's been there. I mean, how long has it been there? When did they open?
They opened in 2000. So
okay. So, yeah.
1999, something like that. This is our 25th year.
I mean, it's great. Stuff like that's good for a city too.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said stuff like that's great for a city too, because I mean, that's just something fun to take your kids to on a night out. Or it's fun for all types of people.
Here in Southwest Virginia, there's not a lot to do.
Right.
And this is one of the places, Withville, Virginia, where I live. It's a beautiful little town. And anyway, that's what I've been up to. I work at a dinner theater, and we are always putting on shows. I've been here for 6 years, and this is what we've been trying to change over the theater and change over the restaurant for the past few months.
Well, let me ask you, Dad, since when we're talking about change, changing the owner and changing into the New Year's, all the stuff going on, I was going to ask you, did you and Dorinda, your wife, do anything for New Year's this past week? It was a week ago now.
Well, you know what? We didn't do much.
No, we just sit inside. I mean, me and Alyssa didn't either. We sat on the couch, and I think we were playing. We have a little video game called Overcooked, and it's like a little cooking game we can both play with each other on my PlayStation 5. And we were sitting there playing it, and I checked my phone, and I noticed that it was like 11:59, and I was like, oh my gosh, Alyssa, we have to watch the ball drop. Like, it's literally, I noticed it was like 10:59 or something like that, and I was like, wait, that's like midnight in New York. Like, that's where the ball is. So I immediately flipped over the channel, and it had like 20 seconds left, and I was like, babe, the ball dropped. We have 10 seconds. And then, of course, we had our kiss at midnight, and it was fun. We just stayed in, didn't do much. We got to watch the last 30 seconds of the ball drop, so that was fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. That's the adulting way, too, because you're going to find that that's better than going out, you guys are young.
Well, me and Alyssa actually talked about it. Like, one day we'd like to go to New York for that, like, way in the future, but that'd be fun. But a lot of people go to that. I don't know about anytime soon.
That would be so much fun. That's one thing I've never done is be at New York City. But let me tell you this. I was in San Francisco, I guess it was 2014 or 2015.
I remember.
For a New Year's Eve, yeah. And, man, they put on a pretty good show. It's fun to be in a big city like that, but to be in New York with the ball drops would be...
That'd be awesome. Yeah. Maybe we'll have to bring you along, Dad, whenever me and Alyssa go. That'd be fun.
What? That'd be so much fun. I would love to go out with you and or your sister Gabby.
Yeah, well, I mean, whenever I
like that in New York, man, that'd be awesome.
That'd be sick. Whenever I get older and stuff, we'll have a lot of opportunities to do stuff like that. But did you and Dorinda set any crazy, cool, motivating kind of New Year's resolutions this year? You guys got any plans for the year?
You know what? Just to love each other more. we moved into a new house on New Year's Eve.
Yeah. That's also, that's a busy New Year.
We have blessed this house with good vibes. And, I'm an old hippie. We were born in the 60s and raised in the 70s and 80s. And so we have this kind of hippy-dippy way of looking at things. But, yeah, our New Year's resolution is, mine personally, is just to be better to Dorinda. It's to be better all around.
Right.
Just to be a better person.
Be a better person. Yeah.
I don't know if you know this as much as anybody else, but I pray a lot, and I pray my faith is going to make good things happen this year. That's
awesome. Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you, son? Do you pray?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Listen, of course, whenever we were kids, we went to church whenever we were little, and then I would always go to Wednesday night service at South Union in Dangerfield and, hang out with my friends and, go to Mr. Terry's group nights at South Unions and stuff, but, no, I didn't. Yeah, shout out to Mr. Randy if you're out there listening. We appreciate you.
Anyway, yeah.
But it didn't really stick with me, and it always has, of course. I've always understood all the stories, and, I've always loved Jesus, and he's always been, Lord of my life and stuff, but, it didn't really stick with me until, I got with Alyssa, and her family is very religious and very Christian motivated, and, just getting to experience all that stuff with them, going to church with them, praying with them, at every dinner, it's been a good experience for me, and it's really helped me with my faith. And, I have Hebrews 11:1 tattooed on my arm, just because I've always struggled with faith in my life, and that verse specifically talks about faith, and, that's why it resonates with me.
What is the verse?
I'll go ahead and I'll show everybody that's listening on YouTube right now the verse on screen. I don't know it right off the top of my head. I'm on the spot, but I'll go ahead and put it on the screen for everybody, and you guys can read that. But yeah, I have that tattooed on my arm, and I'll show you guys the picture of the tattoo too. But I don't really, did I say my New Year's resolution?
What is your New Year's resolution?
I don't really have like a set New Year's resolution necessarily, but I know I have some goals and some plans for this year, and I guess you could call that a resolution. No, I definitely want, one of my resolutions for sure is to keep my job all the way through the end of this semester, so I can hopefully pick it back up whenever we come back next semester, next fall. So I really want to keep my job all the way through and, try to get a promotion in that next year. Other resolution that is, I would say this is me and Alyssa's resolution, we talked about this earlier, is we both, at the beginning of this semester, we were going to the gym, and we would go every night or every other night, and we were doing it consistently for about a month or two, and then Alyssa would keep going every day after class, and of course me, I got lazy, I got tired, my body started hurting, I know that's the working, but I started to get tired, and then eventually we kind of just faded out and started to focus more on midterms and classes and stuff, so we kind of faded out of going to the gym. And me and Alyssa were talking earlier that one of our resolutions should be like this semester we should stay consistent and go to the gym and really try to work on our summer bods, you know what I mean?
That's great. That's great.
try and get
other to count on like that.
Do what?
That's great that you have each other to count on.
Yeah, we can hold ourselves accountable and, bounce off of each other,
Dorinda and I do that a lot. We talk to each other. That's the adult thing to do, I think, and we talk to each other a lot, even though we may butt heads occasionally.
It happens. That's just part of being together.
We talk it out,
Yeah, exactly.
It's this is what's best for us together,
right,
going forward. Me
and Alyssa have to do the same thing. I always get on her nerves and little things here and there, we love each other so much, but, we're together every second of every day. Of course, I make her a little irritated, so, I'll just have to give her little space and then come back, say I love you, I didn't mean to offend you, same thing you said, it's important to be able to talk to, your significant other like that,
Absolutely.
While we're at a little dead point, I just want to say real quick, Dad, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you if you had something to say there. I know we already touched on this at the beginning of the episode, but I just want to thank everybody so much right now for the success on our first episode. We haven't released any prior content on our YouTube or anything else leading up to the podcast. I maybe posted for a week on Facebook and Instagram about the podcast or on TikTok. And I just want to say thank you all so much for all of the, comments that we're getting, the likes, the subscriptions. We appreciate you all so much. We got 100 views in the first 48 hours of the first episode, so that was mind-blowing to me. I didn't
expect those 100 people to view the second episode.
Yeah, I had no expectations for the podcast. I expected to maybe have 20 views on it today, so thank you all so much for enjoying the episode.
We really 20 times today already.
Well, maybe he's 80 of them from the 6 days of the last episode, but no, we've gained about 18 subscribers in the past 2 weeks, and we've only posted one episode, and we've gained all these views, and like we said in the last episode, we're not doing this for the views or the likes or the subscriptions, but, my dad and me, we just want to do this so we can catch up, have these on the internet for other people to listen to, and hopefully you guys enjoy some of the stuff that we talk about. But we really I personally really appreciate everybody for all the reception we're getting, and I just wanted to say that real quick because, we really appreciate everybody.
No, absolutely, man. Appreciate y'all. So let's talk about a few things that are in the news, okay?
Okay, go fire away.
So, listen, last week we talked about the drones.
Right.
Have you seen anything about it since then?
Actually, I was thinking a couple of days after I posted the last episode that I really haven't seen much about the drones recently. In the past 2 weeks, I know we just talked about it last Friday because, that was big. I'd seen a lot of stuff about it leading up to the episode, but I feel like in the past 2 weeks, I haven't seen much on the drones, and I wonder why it's gotten so quiet. It was so big for 2 weeks.
But you just haven't been looking at the right channels.
Oh, have you seen a lot of stuff?
Yeah, let me discuss for just a minute.
Well, and you're up there near to New Jersey, so I'm sure you hear a lot more about this stuff.
Well, you know what? If you can believe half of the stuff that's on the internet, which you probably can't, but I looked at a map of things that were going on over the past week,
right?
Especially over the past couple months.
Yeah, are you talking about drone activity and stuff?
Yeah, or weird UAPs or whatever you want to call it.
Right. Yeah.
And it's all over the internet, so much so that even the mainstream media is talking about ABC News,
right?
Fox News. They've been actually discussing it and saying, "What are these?" Even the reporters don't know, and they have the inside scoop.
Yeah.
So, since we talked about last week, I just wanted to touch on it briefly.
Okay.
I am consumed by this there are some videos out there of some weird stuff going on, Ethan. Like plasma balls.
I know. I've seen some, and I mean, if anybody remembers from last week, whenever I was talking about Joe Rogan had posted that video, I looked for that video and I actually couldn't find it anywhere. It seems like that video has been removed since the last time that I saw it. But the plasma ball that my dad is referring to, that's one of the things that Joe Rogan saw. Like, that's one of the things that he actually videoed.
And I don't know what you think about it, but I personally think that it's military and human related. I think that we know what's going on. I think it might be a show of force from some foreign country, or us testing out
new technology at night.
Or
in the middle of the night, in the middle of Nevada or something. No, I'm just playing.
I mean, I don't know. That's the problem too. Since we talked last week, I watch everything on YouTube. It's the best place to get your information.
Yeah, well, of course, obviously.
YouTube and TikTok. It's So I don't, but I've been watching a bunch. It's weird out there, Ethan. It's weird.
A lot of weird stuff.
I haven't seen any drones personally in Southwest Virginia.
I haven't seen them in Texas either.
They have seen some drones. And if you look at a map of like all over the nation, they've seen a lot of drones over the past couple months. Right. They call them drones, but to me, they look. There are some that are out there that look really weird. Ethan, so
I don't know. I've seen the videos of like the other ones that I don't know. I mean, there's videos of stuff that don't look like drones, and we just want to touch on that a little bit. Just kind of throw that out there. I mean, we've still this week. There's no new information on the drones. Nobody knows what they are. There's so many new crazy things coming out every week about it, so we'll make sure to keep you guys filled in. But I'm sure this whole time I'll be showing you guys videos and clips and pictures of all the new drone videos and all types of stuff.
I hope you do. You're in charge of the editing. You should put some drone videos up there. So let's transition into what we were going to talk about this week.
Well, we got recommended, of course, by somebody in the comments. You know who you are. Everybody knows who you are. They can just go look at the first episode and see who said it. But, we want to talk about a lot of stuff, deep diving into, the pros and cons of AI, some, strengths of it, how it could present some issues in the future, or presents issues now. But, Dad, do you have any thoughts on, maybe to start it off, some pros and cons on AI?
Oh, I've got thoughts.
You got plenty of thoughts.
Yeah. No, I've talked to people over the years, including my wife, Dorinda, and some close friends about robots and AI ever since iRobot with Will Smith came out 5 years ago.
Right.
And I read that book when I was in high school. I think it was Isaac Asimov, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
I didn't even know iRobot was a book originally.
Yeah. And I read it, and I used to be a big reader, no pun intended. Yeah, and I loved science fiction. Ever since I've watched iRobot, and now it's coming to fruition, it looks like.
Right in front of our eyes, yeah. I mean, you can see it. I mean, I'll go ahead and flash a picture up for you guys. For anybody that hasn't seen iRobot, this is all the rows of, robots and stuff from iRobot whenever, Will Smith was in there looking at all the different robots. And, I mean, you can see in today's world, just this year, or this past year in 2024, Elon Musk revealed his, Tesla robots and his new Tesla cars that look straight out of a comic book.
It's happening now.
I'm sure you guys have already seen all the pictures I'm popping up, but it's crazy. And
it's insane. And so, what a weird time to be alive. For a 56-year-old man, it's a weird time for you as an 18-year-old man to be alive. So, how do you feel about it? I mean,
Well, I think AI is it's weird the way you say it. With me being an 18-year-old, it's a weird time, and it is. But I think it's more, the better way to say it would be me being an 18-year-old in this time. It's very vital, the choices that I make, I would say, because with AI and all the technology that's expanding in the way that it is, it's so easy for me being a college student, it's easy for me to just go online. I can find some type of AI resource where I could just take a picture of a question and it could give me the answer in 5 seconds. I can write it down on a piece of paper. So it's very vital for me to choose if that's what I want to do and how I want to go through school, or if I want to actually sit down and do the work. And that's it's scary because, I mean, there's millions and millions of college students out there right now that have so much access to AI, and it's a good thing. Like, my university personally, they allow AI to a certain degree. They have an AI policy that you must read, and make sure you have to read that, and you're allowed to use AI to an extent because AI is the way of the future. There's no point in, schools in high schools saying, no, you can't use AI, you can't do this, you can't do that. And while I understand it, it's the way of the future. I mean, AI is going to be everywhere in the future, and may as well, here at college, they're trying to teach us how to use it to our advantage instead of shield us from it. We'll be ahead of the curve in the future, with the knowledge that we're getting now.
That's interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's and I'm sure there's a lot more schools out there. I don't know how other colleges are. I'm sure there are colleges out there that don't allow AI because, it's a problem at the same time. It's a strength because I could go on ChatGPT, which is an AI chatbot. I could just type up right now, give me some topics to talk about on Elvis Presley for a group assignment, which, I actually had to do this semester. And I can get a bunch of topics, and it'll list it all out for me, how to talk about it, what to do, how to do it, I mean.
I bet you learned a lot about Elvis Presley.
Yeah, I mean, I did. And, AI, it's like I said, AI is very useful. And, I mean, it's very interesting that they've somehow created technology that can almost think for itself and give you these answers so fast. But as I was going to say, it's also scary at the same time because think about, what about the nursing students of the future that are going to be our nurses in 20 years, but they graduated with a nursing degree off of AI, you know what I mean? Seriously, we got to think about what are we going to do whenever we have engineers that cheated on their geometry papers, all through college, and then let them build bridges 30 years from now. I mean, what are we going to do, so that's where I think there's big cons, it can also be a disadvantage teaching everybody how to use AI, but it's only going to grow and get bigger from here.
The way you put that, because I've always thought about it, and I've talked to my wife and my friends about AI, and to go back to what I was saying earlier was, when I saw the future 20 years ago, and of course we always heard about it when we were kids, like the Jetsons. We watched the Jetsons, and there was the doctor on the screen giving a diagnosis over the screen, and that's what's happening now.
Right.
To see that, and my take on it has always been, I can't wait for the robots to take over. They can't do any worse than we've done.
Right.
And
what are they going to do? What are they going to do whenever there's no humans to work the power plants and they all get shut off?
Well, and, I didn't think that far ahead. That's what Dorinda, my wife, was telling me. She's like, what? What, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, I think that the robots,
all we got to do is go, boop, unpull the plug, and they're back to sleep and shut them off forever.
No, listen to my thought.
I respect, I understand what you're saying. I respect what you're saying.
If a robot can quantumly compute how we can save the rainforest in a split second, then why not let them take it,
Right, yeah. Give them a little control. Let's start getting some ideas from them. No.
With some sort of human guidance.
Right, yeah. And see, that's another thing. That's another thing about AI, too, is, one of my professors at school has taught us, or here at college, not at school, but one of them have always taught us that, it's not necessarily, if you use AI, it's how you use AI, if there's somebody good that can use it, you can really put AI to a lot of good use, but at the same time,
that goes for everything.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
How can you use it for good and not evil?
Right, yeah, it's just like you said, it can go for anything, have somebody, they build sidewalks for us to walk on, and somebody else, we're supposed to respect it, and somebody else can go paint on it,
It is scary. It's truly scary, but it's also exciting. And I had no idea that your school had embraced, ChatGPT or whatever. When I was in school and even in college, we could, if we wanted to cheat, we could do so, but
right.
it would take dial-up, and then we'd have to, find something online.
May as well just actually learn it. No point in cheating.
And I never did that. Because
right.
I wanted to do the work too.
Yeah.
And so I guess it's up to you as an individual to do the work, like you said. Even if you have that help.
Yeah. Well, I would say I always used AI mostly to like help me build. Like, I always struggled in high school with having structure in like essays and stuff, and I always would just ask AI, how can what's the most effective way I can write an essay about this topic? And it would say, you need to make this many paragraphs, you need to talk about this, you need to talk about this, and then I would take it to another page, and then I would think about, like, oh, so let me talk about this topic, and I would actually do the work myself, and that's an effective way of using AI, but
I'm going to use that for life. I don't have Chat GPT.
Well, all you got to do is go on Google and look up Chat GPT.
Okay, do I have to download the app or?
No, I mean you just click the first link and click try it first.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it for life. I'll be like, how can I invest wisely over my next?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it probably actually won't tell you because like there's also like little things that they've put into these AIs is like you can't ask an AI like what should I bet my life savings on, red or black, like it'll be like you probably should not do that.
Oh man, really?
It'll be like you probably shouldn't do that. Like I can't tell you that, I'm not real. Get a life, go invest it.
No, now you've disappointed me. Yeah, I don't think I'll try that then. I'll just
turn you away from it. No.
You know what? Red or black sounds great. You should just ask Chat GPT red or black.
Yeah, right. And then just bet your life savings on it. No, we're not advising that to anybody out there. Well, I wanted to touch on the fact that another thing about AI is the newest iPhone that came out recently. Did you know that they're actually that they've always had Siri in iPhones and stuff?
Right.
I think it's still. I don't know if it's still Siri on the new iPhone. I think it is, but they've implemented Apple AI into these new iPhones, and that's how they're advertising is like these new phones. They have Apple AI and stuff, and it's just another AI attachment in the phone. But it's weird, man, because like there's also. I mean, with AI getting so expanded and, like, the future of technology and all the stuff that's going on in the world with government security and, AI and, them putting it into phones and stuff, I mean, it can start to get a little scary because I know, me and you are kind of conspiracy theorists and, your phone always asks you whenever you download, like, a social media app or, like, some type of shopping website if you'll allow them to track the things that you see. And that always begs the question in my mind, paying attention to the things that I'm looking at on my phone, if like they listen to the things that I say or things that I do. Like I can remember me and Alyssa walking through the grocery store one time and we saw these stuffed animals sitting on the wall and she was like, oh, those are like those weighted stuffed animals that like you put in the microwave and they warm up and then they're like weighted and you can cuddle them and stuff. She was saying, I really, really want one of those. And I was like, that'd be a great idea for a gift. Maybe I can get you one of those or something. Then about an hour and a half later, after we got back to her house, just scrolling through Instagram, and out of nowhere, I get an ad on my Instagram for little weighted elephant toys, like almost the exact same toy that she just saw on the wall. And it was a weighted one that you can put in the microwave and, cuddle with it and stuff. And I was like, oh my God. They're like sitting here listening to us talk like about things that we like and they're going to recommend it to us. Like with them putting this new Apple AI into phones and stuff, it just begs the question like, is it going to, I'm not saying like everybody's phones are listening to them and stuff. I'm just saying like, it's a crazy world, I mean, all this AI stuff, there's no telling all the information that it's getting, I mean, what do you think about all this AI and, security stuff?
Well, listen, because you said that, it reminded me that I just saw, and I think it was a legitimate newscast, that Apple just settled a lawsuit because Siri was listening in to people's conversations, even when you didn't give her the trigger words, which is "Hey Siri."
Right, either "Hey Siri" or other stuff like that. They were
listening all the time, and that probably is exactly what happened. And I don't.
And that just begs the question, if that happened with Siri, what's going on with the Apple AI? I mean, like not like we'll know or we'll ever know, but it's just something to think about. That's just the things that I think about at night.
A lawsuit, and I think if you have an Apple device, that you could get $20.
Actually, I think Alyssa mentioned that to me. Yeah, she told me that like they settled a lawsuit and you could get $20 if you use Siri or something. I do remember that.
Siri was listening to you the whole time.
See what I mean? This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. People you never know. Yeah, I mean. And Alyssa,
that's the scary part of it, and that's when you talk about AI and then you open up the whole facial recognition and social credit scores.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, we could dive into that for a long time thinking about that. Like, all the fingerprint scans and all types of stuff.
It's a new world, man.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's a lot of progress, and I mean, it's just January 7th today. There's no telling how much will come in the next year, next coming years, next 5 years, right? I mean,
man, you know what? And I'm interested and I'm happy to see it. Like I said, the robots can't do any worse than we have. I'm concerned about the world at large as I get older.
Right, yeah.
I just think that these applications can be used. They're just not being used by people in charge. But like you're talking about Elon Musk earlier, and what he's got to do with everything that's going on. And that's why I like talking to you, Ethan.
It's crazy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just going to say, it's crazy you were talking about Elon Musk, because I was going to ask you about what your thoughts were about, Tesla and stuff. Tesla's now, they have the self-driving mode. And I mean, there's a lot of other car brands out there that do as well, I think, now. But Tesla was the first one that started that, and I mean, they're using AI computing in that, and they're using AI computing and all types of crazy technologies in their cars, to have them drive themselves on the roads and stuff. And I mean, that could be dangerous in the future as well.
But hear me out. We live in a time where there's still glitches in those systems.
Right.
We live in a time where they're testing that kind of stuff out. I just saw a video the other day where this guy had called an AI-driven car as an Uber, quote-unquote, to go to the airport.
Wow. And it was like one of the self-driving cars?
Yeah, it was self-driving.
See what I mean? Yeah. And, who knows, in 5 years, what the roads will look like then, I mean, it's cool.
But did you see this video where the guy was driving around and around the airport? He couldn't get out of the car. He called tech support.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't get out of the car, and they're like, can you pull up the app on your phone? And he's like, why do I have to pull up an app on my phone? Can't you,
tell it to stop?
Pull over?
Right.
Driving around and around the parking lot. He couldn't get out for like an hour. He was stuck in his car. So we're living in a time where, these things are happening, yes.
Wow.
But they're also, you've got self-driving semi-truck trailers going down the road. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane. So what a weird time, so it is.
Yeah, it is. It's weird. It is, and that's what we always say in these episodes, and just like we said last episode, it's just a weird time to be alive. So much change, so many new things. It's just crazy these days. I mean, look at us. I mean, making a podcast. It's crazy. There's so many new things,
So anyway, it's crazy. But I will tell you this, Ethan.
It's exciting at the same time, though.
Be a betting man.
I am.
I always lose at the casinos. But if I were a betting man, I would bet on AI, quantum computing. These things are things that if you would have told me back in the 80s, invest in Apple. Oh, okay, no big deal, so I would say if you're going to invest in something, and I'm telling you as an 18-year-old man, as your father, these are the things of the waves of the future,
Right. This is the focuses of the future. Well, I mean, who knows? Who knows what will happen with it in the future? I mean,
I'm interested, and it'll be fun if we keep doing a podcast. Maybe we can do this in 5 years ago. Man, what happened?
Right. Look what it's like now. No, I hope we do, man. We have plans to do an episode every single week of this year, and who knows what our podcast will be 5 years from now.
Hey, let me touch base on a couple things before we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to start something on our podcast where we give back to our respective communities, whether it be here locally, where I live in Southwest Virginia, or where you live in East Texas,
right,
or some other social issues. I've been thinking a lot. We can do something bigger for humanity, and I know that sounds big, and I know it sounds brave, but it's true. It takes a couple people wanting to do something good for our respective communities to do something, to make a difference.
Right.
And so I would love to do something on a social scale, whether it be for homelessness or veterans affairs. I know you love animals.
Oh, yeah.
And so maybe you could do something for an animal shelter, or I think that we can do something along those lines on this podcast. in the next few weeks. And we don't know exactly what that is yet, right?
No.
Maybe in the comments, somebody could comment on something that they believe in, that they're very passionate about, and we can incorporate that in. So does that sound like a good idea to you?
Yeah.
Well, let's do that in the next couple weeks. We'll talk about that. And we want to do something a little more personal. We would love to have your pet pictures, right?
Yeah, we want everybody to, so you guys know at the end of our last episode, we talked about our dogs a little bit, and we wanted to do something a little bit fun on the show. We want everybody to submit the pictures of their dogs, if you guys would like to, at the end of the episodes. You guys can, I'll go ahead and pop up the email on the screen right now. It's ethananddwayne@gmail.com. You guys can go ahead and email us your pictures if you guys would like us to, and you guys can tell us a little bit about your dogs, or tell us if you just want us to keep your names out and stuff. Tell us your dog's name, just give us a little information, and we'd love to put up all the pictures of the dogs that we get during the week, and we'll put them at the end of the episode. I think that'd be really fun, so we'll put up the email right now, or cats, or birds, or snakes, whatever you got.
Do you have a pet snake?
Whatever you got. Just send us pictures to the email down below, and I'll make sure to put it in the bio also, so you guys can go see that. But Dad, I think are you about ready to wrap up the episode here?
Yeah, that's fun. And hey, listen, if you're personal friends of ours, you can IM us on Messenger or Facebook or whatever, and show us your pictures that way, and we'll transfer them.
We'll get them at the end of the episode.
Next week, we should get a little bit more in depth about the Food and Health Administration that's coming in.
We'll talk about RFK and like the food processing issues and all the additives and stuff in the food. We'll make sure to do some research on that to talk about that in next week's episode.
I think that's a pretty interesting and important subject.
Yeah, and we'll also have updates on my first day on the job and my first week on the job for you guys next week, so make sure to check out episode 3 for that as well.
That sounds great. It's good talking to you, son.
We want to thank you guys all so much for listening to the second episode of this podcast. Thank you guys all so much for listening to the first episode, and if you haven't already, make sure you go to the channel and check it out. Check out all of our social medias in the description below, and check out our bio. Go check out the page if you subscribe and like video if you haven't already. Dad, you have any last words you want to say?
I just wanted to thank you very much, son, for allowing us to do this. It's pretty fun every week, and I enjoy it. And we appreciate you guys for checking in with us. We'll see you next time.
Hopefully you're watching this on Friday right now, and episode 3 will be up next Friday. And thank you all for listening so much.